23-0. Nurmugamedov, 28 years old. Michael Jonson, 30 years old. He will have a 3.5-inch Jonson. Here we go. The southpaw Jonson in the white trunks. Nurmugamedov in the black trunks.
Very fast hands from Michael Jonson. And Nurmugamedov, one of the best grapplers in the business.
Michael Jonson coming off a spectacular finish of Dustin Poirier.
That was
back
a sensational performance.
Yeah, it really was.
And there was a lot of emotions on the line between those two fighters. There was a lot of talk back and forth, a lot of trash talk. This has been very different. Both guys have been very respectful in preparation for this fight. And even in their stare downs, been smiling, shaking hands, looking forward to just testing their skills with no shenanigans.
Nurmugamedov, born and raised in Dagestan, Russia, trains in San Jose. He's a member of the American Kickboxing Academy team. Of course, that's Daniel Cormier, Luke Rockhold, and company.
And one thing to take into consideration is activity. Besides the Darrell Horcher fight, it's been a long time since we've seen Khabib healthy and inside the octagon. That was before when he fought Nurmugamedov. Michael Jonson, on the other hand, has been incredibly active, and he is teeing off on Khabib right now.
Nurmugamedov, Joe, to your point, was out almost 2 years.
Yeah, it was a long time and a bunch of pretty significant injuries where he couldn't really train that well. Oh, he tagged him. He hurt him bad.
And again,
Nurmugamedov is hurt right now. He's wobbly and hurt. He's moving around.
Hand speed of Michael Jonson.
But Nurmugamedov is still in trouble, Mike. His legs are not under him completely.
And he connects again.
And there's the shot. Jonson defends. Michael Jonson has very good takedown defense, and that will be a big factor in this fight. But he's fighting a different kind of grappler here tonight. Khabib Nurmugamedov mauls people. It's the best way to describe his style. And when he gets a hold of people, it almost seems like they're shocked at how strong he is. Look at this. He's moving right now into the mounted crucifix, and he positions it perfectly, and Jonson is in terrible trouble here. This is a horrible position to be in with an elite grappler like Nurmugamedov. Jonson cannot wait here. He must explode. He's got to twist and pop and posture up, but Nurmugamedov maintains an excellent position. He's in side control here.
You know that Jonson has trained escapes from this position, but until you're in this position with Khabib Nurmugamedov in a real fight, you don't know how difficult it may be.
It's a different guy. I mean, he's a world champion, world champion grappler. Completely different kind of guy. It's very hard to find training partners that can replicate what Khabib Nurmugamedov can do, unless you're training with someone who's as good as him, and there's just not that many people. And Khabib right now is teeing off on Michael Jonson. Terrible position for Joe
to emulate Rumble.
Johnson's getting hurt. He's getting hurt bad here.
Trying to posture up.
Massive pressure. Massive pressure. He's going to slice that right knee through. And Jonson, with a minute and a half to go, is in full survival mode here, Mike.
And this, Joe, came right after Jonson had hurt Nurmugamedov.
Yeah, he hurt him, but was not able to capitalize on that. Took his time, and now he finds himself getting pounded on. Big shots to the temple. Michael Jonson's in a lot of trouble here, Mike.
Nurmugamedov 23-0.
He's going to mount him, and now Jonson's really doomed. This is terrible.
Two-time Russian combat sambo, two-time world sambo champion.
Jonson is in big, he just got clipped hard on the chin there. He's in big trouble here, Mike. This fight is in danger of being stopped.
Big John McCarthy right on top of the action.
He's got to hold on to the hands of Nurmugamedov. He can't just cover up like this. But Nurmugamedov is doing such a good job of tying up his left leg that Jonson can't move. I mean, can he absorb this for 30 more seconds is the question, and how diminished will he be if he even makes it out of this round?
20 seconds.
Look how Nurmugamedov is tying up that right arm as well. Jonson is effectively only defending himself with one hand, and he can't move his body. This is a terrible for Jonson.
10 seconds.
Nurmugamedov all over him, but it looks like Jonson is going to make it to the bell.
Wow!
Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Khabib Nurmugamedov almost stops him. Crazy round.
I think it's imperative that Michael Jonson keep this fight on the feet, maintain his distance, keep a low stance, and be real careful about letting Khabib Nurmugamedov get a hold of him. Obviously, easier said than done.
Jay Glazer, Brian Stan, Michael Bisping, Megan O'Leary handling the duties on the desk all night here live from Madison Square Garden.
Jonson still dangerous.
Yep.
Look to throw a left hand there on Nurmugamedov, but he's got to be real careful with reaching and making things obvious, because if Nurmugamedov times him...
Which is what Henry Hoop said in his corner between rounds, Joe.
Well, you see Nurmugamedov posturing up straight and then looking to drop down low. I mean, he had such a dominant round in terms of grappling. I can't imagine he's not going to do that again. Pushes him up against the cage and immediately gets that. Oh, that very nicely done by Jonson. Very nicely done. He needs more of that for sure. The question is, how diminished is Michael Jonson from those punches he took and from the amount of effort that he had to put out to defend himself? Beautiful sprawl there from Jonson.
Greg Jones, Henry Hook. Greg Jones, the wrestling coach.
Guillotine attempt from Michael Jonson.
Sugar Rashad watching closely.
He does not have it. Nurmugamedov out. Jonson in full guard.
Not good.
Terrible is a better word. Just look how quickly he hopped over that and into the crucifix position. Oh, man, look at that. He trapped him with his legs. Just so much control by Nurmugamedov. And Big John's taking a real good look at him and could easily stop this fight. Look how he's done this. I mean, he's switching back and forth from crucifix to a very weird positions where he's got the legs trapping that and arm in place. And he's going to do it again, and he's punching in between his legs. And Michael Jonson just really does not have an answer to the grappling.
Is this the owner of the best ground and pound in the game today?
Well, one of them for sure, and maybe the best grappler in the game today. Maybe the most dominant, and again, in one of the most talent-stacked divisions, this guy mauls everybody. It's just the way he does it, no one else does that to these guys. The way he did it to Rafael dos Anjos. The way he's doing it right now to Michael Jonson. It's almost like he's a couple of weight classes bigger than them, but it's not a size thing. It's a technique and a grappling strength thing. Oh, and these hard shots. And again, look how he ties up that right arm. He's done it again. Same position. Wraps up that right arm tight, has awesome wrist control, controls the position, and just mauling him with that left hand.
This may be it here soon.
Well, it's just a matter of how much Jonson can take. These are hard shots. I mean, he's throwing his whole body into them. Look how he's digging into that left hand. And Jonson just absorbing him, trying to tough it out, and trying to find the opportunity to move to a better position. But in the meantime, getting severely diminished with every punch Nurmugamedov lands. And there's another one.
Michael Jonson, man, showing some guts.
Showing an amazing chin, too.
Yeah, which just got tested.
I mean, he's getting pounded on, Mike. This is really horrific.
It really is.
And look how Khabib has just got him contorted. I mean, he gets you in a position where you can barely defend yourself.
Wow, look at that number.
And Jonson cannot hold him the way he holds Jonson. When Jonson grabs a hold of his wrist, Khabib just pulls it away from him. I mean, the grappling strength is just so apparent.
Can he get to round 3? 45 seconds. Oh, those shots landing big time.
Well, what's been interesting in this fight, not just watching the domination from Khabib Nurmugamedov, but the fact that Michael Jonson was able to hurt him in the first round.
Yep.
That's what future opponents will look to. But they also have to be aware of what Khabib Nurmugamedov to do to you.
Trying to get the finish here late in round 2.
Jonson almost back up on his feet, but now Khabib's still all over him.
10 seconds.
You cannot doubt the heart of Michael Jonson here. Just really incredible heart being displayed.
Undeniable. Will he make it? Yep.
Relax there. Get to breathe.
They're talking to each other. I do not know what they're saying.
Big John McCarthy just told Rashad Evans, who's in the corner of Michael Jonson, that he's not going to let him take that kind of punishment that he took in rounds 1 and 2 here in the 3rd and final round.
No one better than Big John.
Yeah.
And he's very close to the action. And he can see that Jonson is trying with everything he has. I think Big John's just interested in saving him from himself, but this is the problem. We've never seen anybody do this to Michael Jonson before, but this is exactly what we said when Khabib fought Rafael dos Anjos.
Yeah, we said we've never seen anybody do this to Rafael dos Anjos, right?
He does this to almost everybody he gets his hands on. He's a very, very rare talent.
Trained by his father for many years. Big John right on top of it.
I think Big John can stop this fight at any moment.
Yeah.
And they, right there.
Look at those numbers. Wow.
He's going to stop it.
Yep.
I mean, this is just, I don't see how he can absorb all these shots. I mean, it's incredibly impressive, the heart and the courage that Michael Jonson is showing, but this is not good.
Nurmugamedov.
Full mount.
On top, full mount. More damage.
Full mount with the right arm trapped. You notice how he does that all the time? He traps arms. He traps arms when he does ground and pound almost exclusively. He's just so good at that. He's looking for an arm triangle. He's pounding the body. Jonson defends it. I mean, I'm very impressed with the heart of Michael Jonson. Very impressed.
Man, oh man.
He is not giving up. He has had many, many opportunities. Look at this. He's making his way over the top. He's trying so hard. But Khabib turns it around.
Nurmugamedov has to be getting a bit frustrated here. He would think that he has finished his opponent at this point, but Michael Jonson showing the great heart tonight.
Khabib looks like he may be looking for a Kimura on the left arm of Michael. He's looking for the overhook. He's tying it up. That's exactly what he's doing. He's turning the corner. He's going to get it right here. This should be it. Michael should tap, or he's going to break his arm. He's going to break his arm.
It is all over. Khabib Nurmugamedov moves to 24-0.
I'm actually happy that he didn't continue with the ground and pound and decided to submit him there. And I'm happy that Jonson tapped and was able to avoid injury. But man, what a display of dominance by Khabib Nurmugamedov. He is a monster.
Yeah.
Khabib Nurmugamedov just came running over to Dana White and was demanding to get a shot at the title. And after a performance like this, how can you deny this man? I mean, in my opinion, it's him and Tony Ferguson at the top of the heap. Tony Ferguson, who was the #1 contender before this fight. I don't know what the ratings would be afterwards. Like, I look at that, I'm like, please tap. Just please tap. You're not going to get out of that. Just, I hate seeing what happened to Nogueira when he fought Frank Mir. The same exact position. Man.